Good morning, cool cats and kittens. Sorry, hold on. Where's that? Yay. All right, let's get to it. I'm just going to start with questions today because I have so much to do, and I apologize for being late. I'm really, really stretched on time in the mornings lately. I'm just going to jump into questions, and I will do the ES and I will do the NQ for you guys. I'll work it in when you guys ask, but let's just get going here. I want to get into questions today so that I get to everybody, because yesterday I didn't get to everybody and it bothers me. Makes me sad. What's up, John? SPY day 2. Cool. SPY, Google, NVIDIA, AN. Yep. So let's just start here. And we'll start with the SPY. To me, looking at the SPY, I don't think anything was anything yesterday. And I know people were like, oh my gosh, like we went down. Like, yeah, you're going to go down. Like, it's not going to just be straight up. I think yesterday was I think Friday was a major policy shift. I don't think people are giving it enough credit as a major policy shift. That's my opinion of it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before in my life. I'll be wrong again, but I don't think people are giving it what it is. And it was a major policy shift. So that's how I say it. You know, so we'll say, I do think that if you look at the SPY, I thought this was pretty interesting. So they are walking you down still. You know, I did think that was pretty interesting. I don't know that it's going to mean anything because you're still like, I just don't, I think you're in this period of stagnation. If I had to say where I really think this is going, like to be blunt, I think you're going higher, but you're hitting a stock picker's market, man. Like, I don't know that the indexes are going to go that much higher as much as you're going to rotate. And it's going to be like leading names that are going to do it. Like, it's not going to be small names. It's going to be leading names that are going to do it. So that's really where my head is with it. It really is. Like, I was thinking about this, like, oh yeah, like it's definitely going to be the leading names. So that's how I view this stuff. I don't know, like, I don't know you have to rush into anything here with the SPY. I really don't. Like, I don't feel that way. I don't know what we're going to do or what we're going to see here, but I do see the negativity with it. Like, I do see it, and it's just not, it's not kicking in. And maybe, you know, maybe this was the kick in, but it does get worse sometimes after you see this. Like, it takes some time for it to work itself off. And I do think they're going to underperform. I really do. I do think ES underperforms for a period of time. And I do think it's going to be the IWM. A lot of people were just looking at IWM and just like, oh, but it didn't go up Monday. Like, it's not going to go up every day. You know, that's not how any of this works. So I look at it from that standpoint and saying, every time you've got up into this area, you've rejected. And instead of just giving you a number, I actually think it's something like this. And it's like a little color-coded kind of area. And if you look at the, you know, there's the Tuesday level of 4 o'clock right here, right? And then you open up, you say it. So if you drop that down, I hate when they do this. I hate when they do this. Like there's not a freaking market going on. There is no after hours market for the futures market. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so infuriating. But if you look at this level and where you're at from it and how you fought it over and over again, and then you broke it last night, this is definitely going to be your area of interest. And then from there, maybe you want to mark that off today. So I really think this is your high end of the market. Like, you just don't want to break that today. But I don't know that there's there's a tremendous amount that you need to do. You know, that's kind of how I see it. And I'll do the NQ too, because I should, just so you guys have it. Oops. Hold on one second. Hold on. So NQ. And you can just see that they've just been walking you straight down. So I don't know that this, you know, I mean, you say it, right? I mean, everybody sees it. So look at it. So I don't know. I don't know that there's much there that's really going to light the world on fire. I mean, you have your level here. You have your retest, you know, Monday morning, and then you your retest back to the DTL, and then the rejection at the end of the day that scared the bejesus out of everybody for some reason. And I just think that you're wedged in. To me, the most interesting thing is going to be the reaction to PCE coming up on Friday, because you have a lot of people that are going to be away Labor Day. We always say they go to the Hamptons. Who knows where they go, but like everybody's away, right? Most of them go to like Boca now or Palm Beach. But to me, when I see this kind of stuff, it's super interesting, and I definitely think it's worth paying attention to. But if let's say PCE is weak, and I don't know, it's going to be weak. I actually don't think it's going to be weak, but let's say it is, market will go up considerably, and maybe that's what it's waiting for. NASDAQ's probably waiting for what? NVIDIA, right? If you look at Google, you really rallied up and you just hit that level and you completely rejected it. And if you go take a look at the options market, it would make a little sense on why that rejected where it did. And that might be a bit of a problem for it for a little bit of time. But it's very clear that people think that Google's winning over Meta right now. That's pretty clear that that's going on. I don't know that you have to be rushing into that at that level. NVIDIA changed the entire scope of everything, in my opinion, yesterday with, oh, hey, by the way, it's really about, how did they put it? It's really about physical AI and humanoid robots. We're not really concerned about China anymore. It's like, oh, okay. If I truly go through these names and even the ones that I got like shaken out of, I got shaken out of AVGO after 100 points, and I look at them, they're not looking great. And then you start, like, this was interesting, John. If I go and take a look at the ASOX, right? So ASOX is the AI. So you have the SOX, like, just think about it this way. Here's the SOX, right? Okay. And then you have the ASOX, which is the AI component of the SOX, right? And then you have ESOX, which is equal weighting all of them. Where do you see this? Like, ESOX is actually outperforming ASOX. So if I just turn that into a line, so I thought that was fascinating that, since August 1st, you really have been outperforming. So the broad-based market of semiconductors is outperforming. If we go to the 1st of August, right? So here's August 1st. Broad-based semiconductors are outperforming considerably over, to the point, if I took from peak to trough up, it's 6% in a month. So I don't know. I don't know how that plays out. A lot of that has to do with what you're seeing here with ADI, and ADI didn't make the mistake that Texas Instruments made. ADI had a great quarter. Texas Instruments had a great quarter, but Texas Instruments said, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that again because we don't know how much of it's front loaded. ADI just said, we had a great quarter. And when they said, oh, we just had a great quarter, stock went up considerably on that news. Maybe they should take a page from that book. A good quarter is a good quarter. So, but that's how I say it, Jim. AM. Yeah. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me. Actually, so does CVNA. They just make perfect sense because interest rates are going to go lower. Less cars are coming into the country. Less cars coming into the country means the used inventory that's here will have greater demand. Greater demand means higher prices. That means their inventory is going up. No different than lumber with Home Depot or Lowe's. So I think there's something to that for sure. Yeah, OPAD's better than Open. OPAD has an A in it. Open has an E in it. So clearly this is the better one. Please understand that is a joke. So these things are going to go until the wheels come off, guys. Who knows how long this goes up for. I saw someone on the other day talking about Open, and they were all excited. They're like, it's really happening because now this one room was so big on Telegram that we had to make it a Discord room. Like, okay, that's why the stock's going up. Like, tell me that you've got tell me that you maxed out on retail without telling me that you maxed out on retail. Like that's what that told me yesterday with these names. So I think people are chasing the next one. I don't know that these are the ways that I would play this space. I think it's fun. Like I traded it yesterday. I made money, but I made very little money because then I just got out of the way. That's usually a sign of a top, that what you're seeing right there, the shooting star. Usually it's better if it's like completely full like this. They're usually signs of tops. It doesn't mean you can't go sideways for 2 weeks and then take out the top, but it's usually a sign of a top. It's very rare to just reverse on a shooting star, which is what that is. So I'm just going to go over it because somebody else is going to talk about it. So they're on to this one. Just remember how all this stuff works. I'll just do it real quick. There's 6 ways that this stuff works, right? You have the insiders that buy first, and then after the insiders, you have the institutions that buy, and then after the institutions buy, you max out on retail, right? So it's insiders, institutions, and then retail. When you're maxed on retail, you're at the height. That's why smart money and dumb money, when I do it, that's why I always point it out as institutional versus retail, because it tells you where you are in the cycle. And then the beginning stages, insiders sell, institution sell, retail sells. You're not into any of that yet here or in open, but you are at the point where retail's pretty exhausted on open. And now they're just looking for the next one, which is fine. What I do with these kinds of names is I just mark off where the algorithm stopped. And I find that there's great value in that. So like here, somebody said, I'll sell everything that you have. I'm going to sell everything that you come up with. I'm going to sell it here. Here's your control bar where you broke down. I'm going to sell it all. So until you're above that, you have a seller up here and you have no idea how big that seller is. Like you don't have a clue, because they never were able to actually satisfy the hunger of that sale, right? So if you go here and take a look at it here, that would be your next level. So they would be the levels that I would use. People are like, but you think that's like an institution that just said, oh, I really need to own OPAD? Like, no, that someone just said OPAD does what Open does. And, they have their, their Reddit marketers, like all those people that like on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, like they're paid to tell you what name to buy. Like, please understand that they're all in ahead of it. And then they're all paid by institutions. It's all controlled by hedge funds now. So it's not like it's this grassroots movement. It's just it is what it is. And I'll say this because someone's going to ask me about open and say, I don't understand the business model. I don't care. Like I truly just don't care. I would just look at it this way with all these names, you trade them, make your money, get out of the way. If the earnings are going to be so great, they're going to turn the company around. Why are they still losing money? When they make money into rate cuts, great. There's way easier ways to make money off of rate cuts than to hope and pray that this thing, goes to the moon. Make your money, move on. Way easier trades out there right now. Let's just keep going here. OPAD, I went over. TEM, Sophie, UPST. So TEM, that's a reversal bar until it fixes itself. I wouldn't touch it. I'm going to go fast because I want to get done. Hugely impressed with the action in this yesterday. I actually wanted to buy it off the open, and then it did this. And I'm like, ugh. Up, open, undercut the low of the close. And then I'm like, do I really want to do this? I'm like, I'll wait. I'll wait for it to take out the high. Took out the high, and I started a position, but very small. I don't even have half a position on yet. So, maybe I get fortunate enough and it comes back to here. But when you always mark off these closes, that's the biggest thing. Do the institutions at the end of the day, are they buying? You really have to just see what happens with PCE, whether or not that's going higher or not. I feel the same way about UPST. That's a very different kind of trade. You're looking at 2 completely different management kinds of companies. And this, I would just trade to trade. Sophie's got it going on. Anthony Noto's no joke. Happy Tuesday. PLTR, I'd be careful. I shorted it yesterday. I didn't actually make money, and I was up like a couple bucks on it. I trimmed it, and then it just went back up over. I didn't use the break even. I used a different stop, just because I was trying to stay in it. I shorted it, and then I just used something else up here like this as like the stop on the rest, even though I was down here and I did okay. I could have made decent money because I just didn't want to keep entering it and getting out. I think what you have to look at here again, if I'm you and I'm looking at these trades, if you're looking at it from a day trading perspective and you're not looking at the previous closes, you're doing yourself a disservice, because these people on Friday said, Amityville Horror, get out. And that's how I would look at that. So I think there's some telltale signs that this thing was, going to bounce. If you look at the RSI right here, it's pretty obvious that you didn't sell down as much. I thought you might, work it off, roll over. I was wrong. But up here, they're telling you like you need to get through this level. So if you are that interested in the name, you'd want to see that, make sure you're getting through it. And then kind of go from there. But that's really where, my head is with that. Now, in regards to some of this other stuff, like PLTR, if you're like a PLTR hooplehead, and I'll have to put that back on. But if you're like a PLTR hooplehead and you want to be in it, you've got some things going for you. You're not breaking that 55. I would be more interested in, can I close above the 5-day, which it seems to just being Matumboed over and over again. So that's how I would view it, Julian. Have a great day, man. What's up, Jared? It's already 55. PPAT. I'm going to have to go faster. Sorry. Interesting. Rejected twice. Wouldn't touch it until it fixes that rejection. All I keep hearing about is Vegas is slow. Vegas is so slow. Oh, Vegas is so slow. I was talking to a friend that lives out there. Vegas is killing it. The traffic's down. The tickets are bigger. So, maybe that's the thing. The traffic's down, but the tickets are bigger. So they're making more money off of less people. So, maybe there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. But the traffic's down a lot. People are like, oh, the traffic's down. Okay. They killed it. So I do think that. I do think that they're switching that model. MLCO is, this stock makes so much sense to buy and forget that you own. The question really is, can you do that? And the answer for me has always been no. Like, I've not been able to just master buying this thing and forgetting that I own it. You always get these shots down here, man, on this thing. Like, not once, like always you're getting these shots on this thing. And there's this level. Hold on, let me pull this back. There's this level. If you look at what they're doing, this is when China boomed. Like, you just want to buy this at like $4 or $5 and forget you own it. If you ever get the opportunity to, there's certain names like that. This is one of those. If you're thinking about like what name is just completely tied to China and Macau and doesn't have any other exposure really anywhere else, like, this is it. This is the only one I think that's headquartered over there. So like, they're ingrained. So while you could say that Wynn could have a problem because they're US based, and this is where I'm going with this. Like, I'm telling you, like, I see it on the headlines because, the news loves it, and it's factual. Like, Vegas is down. It's not factual. I mean, Wynn looks like it's about ready to break out of a multi-year base, right? You start looking at these names, MGM, not so much. Vici, that owns the Strip, they basically own the top 10 places in Vegas. Like, that's why I tell people, like, if this thing ever goes back to break even or book value, you just buy it, because you could never replicate what they do. Does that look like it's having a problem? So I don't see earnings misses from these companies. I see traffic down, which is very, very different. Store traffic being down versus the average ticket being up, it's two different things. And personally, I think they did it because they cut rates and cut stuff so much during the pandemic to get people in. that they just started getting all kinds of people that they just wanted to, maybe change the class. I don't know. There's something to it. They did it in Miami too, where they cut like things like super cheap to get people during the pandemic, and now they're raising the prices again. I know MLCO is different because you're in Macau, but maybe they did something similar there. It's a monster, like, to get it, but I don't know. I don't know that I need to buy it here. These things are, you want to buy them when everyone thinks that you're not going to gamble anymore. Hope that helps, John. Sophie, bro, I'm not buying Tilray. Dude, we're getting humanoid robots on the video. I mean, that's it. That's all I have to say. Bro. And I'm going to do a lightning round. And I'm going to really push to get here at 8:15 tomorrow. I like charts that do this. So you have the news. The news is good, right? We broke out. We came back down. We retested an area. And now you're setting up again. Yeah, I mean, I could see why you would have interest in this. I would have interest in anything like this that broke out like that. Anything that broke out like that would be of interest to me. You're back above the 55 on high volume. And then, because all I'm saying to you is, like, if you look at the market, you can see how the market was low volume. So anything with huge high volume yesterday, you really want to pay attention to. Like, that's definitely, if you take one thing from today, and as long as you're above the 55, I think you're great. The only thing that could have gone better was this close was a 70.24. And this close was not. And what was this close or open? 70.24. What was this high? 70.004. Yeah, you probably really want to close over this bar. And if you do that, you're gone. Like, if you're already in it, cool. But that's your big hurdle. You want to make sure that happens. I could see why you would have an interest in this. And it does respect the 55. Even though it looks like it's an EKG, it has been respecting it. You can see when it breaks, you sell it. When it pops above it, you buy it. When it breaks, you sell it. Like, it's pretty obvious that it respects that. So you see the break above and then the break below. So 100%, that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I like this name. I like what's happening with it. I'm not going to touch it. I do think the trade works. I'm going to tell you where my issue is coming in with the trade. It comes in with the fact that I had a bar like this in the middle of the day for like no freaking reason. I don't want to own stuff like this where I'm just down 20% in the day. I do think that trade works. Good morning from New York. Good morning from Miami. Yeah, I tried that trade at the end of the day. It looks like really what I should have done with it was just hold it. And this is part of like my stuff where, like, I'll just get out earlier. But it looks like maybe no one believed that they were going to get the order. So I actually bought this, and then I was down like $1 in it going, do I really want to own Boeing overnight? And the answer was no. So I just kicked it. I mean, I probably would have made $1. I don't know. I didn't want to hold the risk. I'd be super careful of it. I'd make sure that it goes. So a lot of these deals are super tentative right now. So I'd be really careful. Really, really careful in this stuff. I'm going to go through this super quick and see what we have. Good morning from Virginia. Yeah, all those names, dude. All of them, John. OSK. Yeah, I mean, they're US based and they sell trucks, right? So, I mean, it doesn't really get any clearer than that, does it? You want to get into good graces with the current administration. I mean, it's not really that hard to see why this thing would be taking out all-time highs, and that probably continues. So I get it. I understand why you'd be looking at it. I'm not a big fan of this, Oscar. I know you guys love it. I know it's like a fan favorite. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't like stocks that trade like this. The failed breakouts. I mean, that's double horns. So you're probably going to break 14. That's how I see that. I mean, that's how I see that pattern. I don't think you're there yet, dude. So you could be because you held the 22. Here's how I look at it. And it probably means that you are there. I want to look at it when it undercuts this or touches it. Just touch it, and then give me a bar to work off of. I didn't do that. But I did sell down, and I'm already over neutral. So on an oversold basis, I'm back to neutral in an hourly chart. I don't know that that's something I want to rush into. Like if you really want to see if it's really going to go, like you can see that level right there, right? So you hit that reversal. Hold on, make it super tight. You hit this reversal right there. And you came into it, then you stopped. So what you really want to do with it is just maybe put an alert right there and then just see if it goes. But you already worked off the oversold there. If you look at the 15-minute, you're already overbought. So, any real movement there, you didn't really get a lot of like oomph under it. You can see the undercut here at like, I don't know, what time was that? 9 o'clock last night. And then you get your divergence and you flip your moving average. And, from there it pushes like into that level and now you're overbought. I don't know that that's something I have to rush into right now. I do think it's going to be a day or two. And then, yeah, it's probably going to lift, but I think you're early. Good morning from Phoenix. Good morning from Miami. ACMR. Anyone going to talk about AEHR? Why it was up like a bazillion points yesterday? No. Just, not for nothing. I mean, I don't own it, but we're up again. So they must have gotten a new contract or something. I'm so behind on some of this news. There's so much going on right now. But you're definitely moving again, 21 to what, 24, and now you're rocking and rolling. So well, they're completely different trades, right? If I don't know what to choose and I want exposure, I just buy an ETF. Like if I didn't know which one to own, I would just buy nukes and call it a day, because the whole thing's going to go up over time. I would just buy nukes if I wanted to be super conservative. I'd buy URA if I wanted exposure but didn't want like the high test. I mean, that's kind of where my head is with the whole thing. I really like the space. Space isn't going anywhere. The ones that I really like are like LEU, BWXT. I've done very well with these trades. I'm no longer in them, but I've done very well trading those names because they're the ones that actually make billions of dollars. So I find the money's made in either selling the dream, which is OKLONNE, because there's no real money there. Like there's no money at all. Where like SMR has contracts, it can miss earnings. OKLO has nothing. Like there's no earnings, there's no revenues, there's just nothing. You're just trading a dream. Same thing with NNE. So you're just trading air, right? So I think that you're better off barbelling it. And by that, I mean, it's 9:05, Jesus. I gotta go. So meaning either just buy the high speculative stuff or buy the stuff that does earnings. I wouldn't buy the middle of the road. I don't think that's the way to go. I'm going to just go through this real quick, see if I missed anything. I wouldn't do that into earnings on NVIDIA. I mean, that's just me. Good morning. My final days at the Jersey Shore. Where are you going? Jersey Shore rocks. Oh, you're going away. You're going back home because of the Labor Day. You're one of them. Don't give up on PLDR. Yeah, Cracker. That's kind of weird. They really, I don't know. They really went after the CEO too, but I don't know. Is it that bad? Is Cracker Barrel? Is it really that bad? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it was stupid, but Sometimes companies just do dumb things because they feel they have to do something. What are these glasses? They're Roca. They're blue light glasses. They do help me. I noticed they help greatly with sleep the other night. You're supposed to wear the red ones like at nighttime. They're different. I'll drop it in. But they're just blue light. But these, like I bought Gunner before. I bought other ones before. These work. These definitely help. Cut the glare down. I just put the link in there. MSTR, Julian, I don't know. Really? Do I have to really do that here? I don't feel it. I'm just going to go through this quick. Good morning from Shenandoah Valley. Good morning from Miami. You typed the book, dude. I can't read all that. Buy now, pay later. No, I think it's stupid. AEO. No more free drinks. Is that what it? I mean, I'm just telling you that everyone keeps talking about it. I own this. I don't know how. I mean, how is it not going up? Everybody's talking about it. You got tons of people pointing at it, whether they love it or hate it. Everyone's saying American Eagles. You know, American Eagle. They're Nazis. They're not Nazis. Okay, whatever, man. But like, they're just trying to sell some jeans. And so they put a hot girl on the cover. So all the girls are going to go buy the jeans because they want to be like the hot girl. Like it's old as time. It's like Brooke Shields with Calvin Klein. You guys will remember that back in the day. So I don't see any difference between that and what they're doing there. But whatever, whether they love or hate it, doesn't matter. It's like, you know, it's like the Kardashian model. Either way, you're talking about it. So people are going to go to the store. I like it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I own it. Yeah, I keep waiting for it to break, but it's holding at 55, so I'm not going to play with it. K-Web looks great. I was a day early on that whole stuff. It infuriated me. DraftKings, I think you're fine with. The number one stock of Goldman is DraftKings versus their target price. There's no stock higher. There's no stock in their book that has a higher target price that is off where it is right now, meaning where they think it could go versus where the price is right now. Number one U.S. company, which I thought was fascinating. I'm like, man, maybe the analyst's just a moron. But I thought that was fascinating. And, you know, you are going into the season right now. Oh, Huntington Valley's nice. Dude, he's hysterical. He's just hysterical. Well, I mean, maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. It's either going to work or not. Peace Guy's not going anywhere. I think it looks great. Like, I mean, I don't think it's going to, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I got to go, guys. Trade to win today. Make good choices.